lie, I'd have a few regrets. Wish I spent more time out biking instead of smoking cigarettes. Wish I worked more on music instead of alternating steps. Probably should have talked more to people I thought were interesting as heck. Probably should have gotten closer to my moms after Pops drowned out of death. I wish the best, I wish that and all the rest. Sometimes I wonder if I felt more at home in my own skin instead of always feeling fake. With my genuine moments stop feeling off and out of place. On my smile seems strange. I walk like I'm trying on a wig, or a mask, or a laugh, or a face, or a faith in my place in this path. But so I'm trying to change that and live inside the moment, not the past. See the present unwrapped, cause the moment's all we have, till it's gone. I'm just waiting, hoping the next one gonna last a little longer than the one before it, cause there's only so many I can grab, but they all start slipping out of hand. If they go past me, I see the last me I ever will be. That got me asking if living this lightly has that been the right thing, or should I been a little bit more focused on the place that my feet needed to go? And as they go past me, I see the last me that I ever will be. That got me asking if living this lightly has that been the right thing, or should I been more focused on where feet wanted to go?
I don't choose where my feet move. It seems they got a mind of their own, dancing into traffic like they no regard for dangerous roads. Don't you worry, nothing got the situation under control.
All right, welcome everyone. We will get going here in just a little bit. Today you need a mat or something to lay down on, and a yoga block or a big folded up towel or a pillow, just something that can bolster you up. Okay. Turn this on. Hey, hi everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Let me back up so I can get some focus. Happy Tuesday. If you're joining live, if not, happy whatever day it is. It is Tuesday, July 14th here in Chicago. And yeah, today I thought I would slow it down a little bit. Usually I make it until Wednesday. I make it to Wednesday and I'm like, oh, let's slow things down a bit. But today I've made it till Tuesday and I'm like, let's slow things down a bit. So, you know, it's good. It's good for us to do something restorative every now and again. And actually, in that, I've decided, some of you know, some of my students know, I read from The Power Path. It's an organization, but they always have these little daily forecasts. And I just want to read. It would be nice to read it to you today, since we're going to do something restorative and ooey gooey. It says, an expansive day to be used to enhance and improve the positive things, thoughts, and intentions in your life. Make sure you don't throw this energy at the challenges of worry and fear. It is much more useful, directed towards inspiration, hope, and exciting possibilities. So there's your little wooey woo for the day. You know, still got that Boulder, Denver hippie child in me. So, so we're going to do something just restorative, nice for our bodies. Modify when you need to, and let's just open things up. Let's get the energy flowing and try and direct that energy towards hope and inspiration, and try and get out of any worry and fear that we might have right now. So I have a yoga block right here. If you do not have a yoga block, you can also just grab a towel and fold it up. Obviously, something that's a little more like sturdy and solid might be better for some of these things. But you know, if you're at home, you do the best that you can, right? Like in life, we do the best that we can. So totally fine if you just have this. You can just kind of fold it up, and then you actually kind of have some control over like how big or how small you make it as well. So if you have like a pillow or a bolster, anything like that, that'll do too. Just whatever you have. All right, let me turn this to a more laid back song here. Here we go. Okay, friends, let's get going. So we're gonna start laying on our back. We're gonna move this back just a little bit. If you want that yoga block to use as a pillow or something, you can go for it. But see, maybe if you can just lay with your head all the way back. Sometimes this feels really uncomfortable, but usually that's because we're so used to having a forward head tilt that I have some clients that it's like they lay like this and they can't get their head back. So they're just constantly in this hunched position. So see, even if it's maybe a little uncomfortable, if you can just lay your head back onto the mat, and you might even feel like an opening up in the front of your body. Roll the shoulder blades together and down the back. Open the palms up towards the sky. It's out of the way. And then if you can, maybe even tilt the chin up just a little bit. So the chin is pointed straight up towards the ceiling. And just trying to open up the front of our body. If our back is really strong, then we can soften the front of our body and open it up. Take some deep cleansing breaths right here. Again, today, it's going to be a little bit slower moving, but that does not mean that it's less valuable. It does not mean that your body doesn't need it just as much. Probably needs it more. It doesn't mean that it might not feel hard at times too, because definitely things may still feel challenging. Good. Take your towel or your yoga block, whatever you have, bend your knees, put it in between your knees. Heels right underneath your knees, or maybe a little further out, and squeeze that yoga block or that towel in between your knees as hard as you can. Keep the chest open and release, just that much. Squeezing in. Feel the energy, feel the heat maybe start to build in your inner thighs. Release. Squeeze with effort though. No, this is a restorative class. Doesn't mean we're not going to put effort into our movements. So really drawing the energy in towards the midline. Pull the belly button in. Good. Keep squeezing in. Do a little release. A few more. Out. Got this. Epidemic. Playlist going. Never know what's going to come up next. It's a little bit too much energy right now, though. We'll get to that. Good. Keep that squeeze in between your knees. Pull the belly button in. That 1, 2, 3 connection of the core, but maybe a little bit softer than you're used to doing it. So it doesn't have to be like a with the belly really pulling in. Just do a sucking in, slight suck in. Feel the length of your tailbone for sure still. And just try and keep maybe a little bit softer engagement and then lift the knees up. I actually think sometimes that's harder to do. So I'm really squeezing my abs. It's easy to maintain that. And I kind of soften it and have to maintain. It's more difficult. Isn't that a great metaphor for life? It's like forcing it so hard. It's like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. And then when we just soften, like, can we still stay? Can we still stay okay? It's kind of, so that's the balance that we're striving for, right? Keep squeezing your knees in. Feel that energy. I feel it going into my pelvic floor. Feel my inner thighs really squeezing. Feel my lower abs working. My core, my spine, all of the muscles from like my knees to my rib cage are working together in symphony. If one isn't taking control, they're all squeezing together. Draw that energy in, swirling it around. That primary powerhouse, as we call it in Pilates, is that lower half of the body, around the hips from the knees to the belly button around. Last one, hold it. Your arms got to a T position. Start to drop the hips over to one side, lift it up and over to the other side. Maybe you go to your range of motion. Maybe you get a little crack or a pop out of this. But try to keep the knees together. So I'm not letting my knees shift. You stay squeezing on this block. I'm not letting one knee shift forward or back. That yoga block or towel stays even in between my legs as I just shift the hips. You want to stay over on one side longer, you can. You are using your core to lift yourself up. Make sure you even yourself out. Come back center. Plant the feet down, hip bridge. Lift the tailbone up and roll it down. Swing my hands back here. Squeeze the glutes, curl the tailbone up, and curl it back down. Press your heels into the floor. Maybe even flex your feet, flex your toes off of the floor. Are you still squeezing the inner thighs together? So now I feel that work really going into the legs, into the back of the hamstrings. So hold it up, squeeze in on that yoga block, that pillow, blanket, whatever you have. Keep holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower yourself all the way down. Take the yoga block out. Keep the feet there. Lift yourself back up again. And now the smallest side, if you have like a towel, you can kind of determine like what amount of folded do you want it to be. And then slide it underneath your sacrum. So sacrum is that lower part of the fused part of your lower back. That big area right in that lower back, kind of where the small of your back is. It's right around there. So we want to just put it there and then lower our tailbone down. And then just do a little windshield wiper of the knees side to side. If this does not feel great, then take the yoga block out. Just have your tailbone down on the floor. Totally fine. Otherwise, just gain a little bit of elevation. We'll get up higher in a moment. Bring it back. Yeah. Bring one knee in towards the chest. Hug this knee in as tight as you can. My bottom, my lower back is still on this yoga block. Straighten this leg. Maybe grab on yourself a point or a flex. It may be a little bit easier to grab your leg because your hips are lifted now. That leg may be able to kick a little bit closer to you than what you're used to. Take advantage of it. Let's just circle around. Maybe a little gentle pull. Bring that leg all the way up. Hands by your side. This leg can stay bent or you can straighten it out. I'm going to bend just for spatial reasons. Single leg circle. Circle down, around. Pause at the top. Circle down, around. Pause. Don't let your body shift on the yoga block or try to not let it shift on the yoga block. This is cemented down and in. You are a statue from your hips, your lower back into the ground. Circle other way. Drawing that belly button in, reaching the toe up towards the ceiling. And getting a little bit into that core, getting into that hip joint, working the leg in the 360 direction of the hip joint. Ball and socket joint moves all around, not just forward and back. Good. Last one, bring it all the way up. Yeah, go ahead and bend that knee and let it fall open to the side. And let this knee fall open to the side too if that helps you balance. Just give it a little flossing, as I like to call it, into that joint. Just move your knee up and down. If you can't grab onto your leg, you can do it manually. Just go in here. Just working that, external rotation into the hip joint. Let's switch over to the other side. Other knee pulls in. Just pull that knee in tight. Maybe you feel a stretch here. Maybe you don't. Extend the leg up. Grab on above or below the knee. Gently stretch. Give your foot a point or a flex. Circle around wherever it feels like it needs it. I started up jogging again yesterday. It's cool enough that went on a little bit of a jog. But my legs definitely feel it. It's amazing how just taking a couple days off makes a difference. And I'm not talking about like crazy long jog. I'm just talking about like, a few miles. Good. Single leg circle. Leg goes up. Circle across the body, around. Pause at the top. Reminder, it is not about how big the circle is. It's about how steady and still you can keep your body on the yoga block, on the mat, on the floor, controlling the circle around. Circle other way. Reach that top foot too. Lengthen these muscles, lengthen that leg. And working into that hip joint, ball and socket joint, lubricating it around. Last one. Good, hold it there. Good, bring the knee in, bring it out to the side, floss up and down, and go wherever your body needs to. I'm feeling a little bit crunchy in certain parts from jogging, so I'm going to stick in those parts, but your body is feeling different and they need to go a little bit different space or place. It's good. Just find what you need. Changes every day. All right, bring it back in. Plant those feet down. Go to the balls of your feet, so lift the heels up, and now do those hip bridges, lift and lower. Option, you can keep the block or the towel there, just gives you a little reference point of how far down to go. Don't rest, so don't just rest your tailbone and then push up, just tap it. Give a little tap, then lift back up. Tap, lift back up. Or if you want to take the block out, if you want to have a bigger range of motion, you can. But again, just tap. Don't let the hips rest. Tap it and then squeeze up. Rolling, articulating through the spine. Rolling through. Lifting up. Yeah. A couple more. Last one. You can roll it all the way down. Excellent. Rock and roll yourself up, however you want to get there. Take your yoga block along with you. Sit up at the top. All right. Going into our spine stretch forward, we're all going to sit on our yoga block or a towel today, just so we all can feel that difference. It kind of opens up hip flexors a little bit more, right? Gives us a little extra height, and maybe we can sit up a little bit taller. Turn this away so you can see. Your arms reach out in front, pull the belly button in around the spine. Just do this much and then sit up. So smaller spine stretch forward to begin. Just a rounding and then a lift. Rounding. Have this rounding come from the back, not from the head. So the head kind of stays where it is, around the spine. And then I can reach my chin and my head a little bit further. Now again, my Pilates kryptonite is spinal flexion, is this movement. So you may be like, Midnight, I don't see your spine rounding at all. And it's tried. It doesn't have as much mobility that direction, but that's why I need to work it. So your spine may flex, may round a lot deeper than mine. Again, everyone's different. Just go where you need. Good. Sit yourself all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Keep the shoulders down and circle the arms around. Clasp the hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back. Open it through the heart. Bring the arms back forward. Again, spine stretch forward. Pull the belly in. Round the spine. Reach the crown of the head. Sit up tall. Reach the arms overhead. Shoulders stay down. Circle the arms around. Clasp the hands. Try and clasp the other way. Other finger on top. Open up to the heart. Stand up tall. Release around. 2 more. Pull the belly in. Reach forward. Flex those feet. Dig the heels into the floor. Stack the spine up. Reach up to the crown of the head. Circle around. Clasp behind the back. So you can do it with no looking. Use your body awareness, facial awareness, proprioception. Around. Last one. Pull the belly in. Sit up tall. Circle around. Clasp the hands. Open up. Keep the clasp of the hands, and now dive yourself forward, getting into like a leg stretch. So try and lift the arms up back behind you. Dig the heels in and do that flat back stretch now. So not worried about rounding the spine, really lengthening through the spine. And circle the arms all the way around. Stack the spine up into your saw. Open up those legs wider. Open the arms up to a T position. Twist one way, pinky finger towards pinky toe. Saw it down. Lift the back hand up back behind you and twist your body. Try and press the back of your knees down onto the floor. Good, come up. Inhale, exhale, twist. Pinky finger towards pinky toe. Reach that back hand behind you. Or try and twist, wring out the core. Get all the way up. Keep going. Exhale, saw. Inhale, exhale, saw. Go at your pace as I talk us through this. So, saw, really pressing that back hand up and try and get that deep twist. Saw feels a little bit awkward. If you feel like you can't twist, bring your legs in a little bit closer. That way you're not having to twist as much. You don't need a lot of rotation in the spine for it to be effective. One more each way. Make sure you even out. Look behind that shoulder. Yeah, sit all the way up. Good. Give yourself a little shake out. Excellent. All right. Bend your knees in. Put your hands back behind you. And then lift the tailbone up and set the tailbone down. Just that much. Just a little tiny. Little lift, squeeze the glutes, and lower. If this does not feel good on your wrists, you can try doing it this way. Some people say they like their hands this way. It feels more comfortable with fingertips facing forwards. You can also go down onto your elbows. There can be more openness in your shoulders, but definitely a thing you can do. Good. Then if we can lift up a little bit higher, we can go into full tabletop. Tap that back down. Lift up, squeeze the glutes, open up to the heart. Tap back down. 2 more. Lift up, open up to the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. I'm really feeling a big stretch in the front of my shoulders. Push your hips up towards that sky. Come all the way back down. Yes, go ahead and take that yoga block out. It is going lengthwise down the spine. Now, if you have a towel, I would suggest maybe rolling it up or folding it up lengthwise like this. Almost like you have a foam roller. If you have a foam roller, you can also grab onto a foam roller. Now lay down on it. It's gonna go into like my mid-back area. So draw a line if you know where that is. Otherwise, just that mid-back. You have to scoot around, find what works best for you. Lay back on it. Put your hands behind your head like a boss pose, then open yourself up. Either say bent knee, or you can straighten out the legs. This is a huge opening up in the chest, in the heart. Now again, if your neck feels really uncomfortable here, prop your head up a little bit using your arms, but see if it can, not hang, but reach back. So that length and extension through the front of your neck. Open up. This is so good to open up like this. If you can stand it, maybe you can reach your arms overhead. You have the space, and let your head go. Just feel that big expansion in the front of the body. Stretch it open. Cactus the arms. Bring the elbows down by your side. And reach the arms overhead. So again, we're doing that threading, that flossing through our joints again. So flossing through those shoulder joints. Elbows pull down and reach overhead. 3 more. This feels so good to me. It could be crunchy for you. Last one. But my back likes going this way. Doesn't like flexing, but likes going this way. Hands behind the head. Good. Use your hands to help lift your head up. Then come all the way up. Yes. Let's take that yoga block and set it down on the left high side. And then lay yourself back again. Now again, you can do this without the yoga block at all. It's just giving me a little bit more opening up in my chest. Just a little bit more. So again, I want my shoulders hanging off and my head resting on the mat. If that is too much, take the yoga block out. Do all of this just laying down on the mat flat. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Plug your shoulders back into your shoulder sockets. So whenever we reach up, we usually let that shoulder come out of the socket. Pull the shoulder back in. So you're plugging it back into that shoulder socket. Then from there, going into arm circles, reaching overhead, keeping it plugged into my shoulder socket, and then reaching around. So I'm not gonna be able to go back as much when I keep it in that shoulder socket and then circle around. So I just wanna feel what that feels like to keep the shoulder blades plugged into the shoulder socket. You may need to do some readjusting. I feel like it's a little bit further now. Yeah, there we go. And around. Circle other way, keeping the shoulders plugged back. I need a little bit of a massage too. That yoga block is kind of massaging into my back, which feels good at certain parts and then feels kind of like, oh yeah, that's a sore spot in others. So just noticing. If it's too much, come out of it. Take that yoga block away. All right, now let the shoulders go all the way back into shoulder sockets, then reach them out of the shoulder sockets, go further and around, just so we know where that limit is. Again, reach up, plug the shoulders back to shoulder sockets, reach overhead as far as you can, plugged in, and then let them out and go the rest of the way. A couple more. If you can't tell where that place is, plug them in, push back, like, oh, it all feels the same to me, that's okay. And we're just getting to know our bodies. We're discovering them. Sometimes that control just has to, that body awareness, that relationship just has to kick in. It has to connect. One day you won't feel it. The next day you'll be like, oh, I totally feel it. I get it. Good. Open out to the side. Just a big old T position with the arms. Let's maybe feel an expansion. Soften the front of the body. Breathe. Good. Sit yourself all the way up. Let's do a roll up here. Curl yourself up, because even people like me who have trouble doing a roll up, now we have an extra boost. Start with the crown of your head, reaching up, ears in between the biceps. Reach to the crown of the head and reach forward, and then all the way up. Yeah. All right. Okay, laying back down onto the mat, taking the yoga block, lifting it up, and now putting it higher underneath your sacrum. If this doesn't feel good, keep it down at the lower. If you want to go up even higher, you can go up here. But I usually think this kind of middle one is perfect. So set your hips down on it. There is a thing called scissors and bicycle in the air in Pilates. So we're going to work into that gently and slowly. Hands go down by your side. Pull one knee into the chest. Draw the belly button in. Take it down. Other knee comes up and in. This is again about stability, about balance. Since we don't have as thick of a base as we did when that yoga block was the other way, it takes more control so we don't fall over. See if maybe you can lift both toes. Actually, do one, then the other. Now see if you can tap the toes down. Mine probably aren't going to go all the way down and then come back up again. I would rather cut it short, because what I don't want to do is do this and lose control of my belly. I want to keep that belly engaged in, so it's not going to be as big. About right there is what it is for me. Good, last one. Toes reach up towards the ceiling. Yeah, a little balance act. Straighten the legs. Go into that scissor. Maybe you grab on with one hand. Feel like you need to keep your hands down on the floor. Go for it. Give yourself a little stretch here. Reaching the back toe. Bring it up. Switch over to the other side. Grab on. Reaching with that back toe. Up and switch. Up and switch. This is a nice supported way to do these scissors in the air, because in the regular Pilates version, they're on your wrist and on your hands. It can be a lot on your wrists. A lot of people don't feel great doing it with their wrists. Bicycle. So you're reaching one leg and then pedal that back leg in and up. So reach the back leg, pedal in and up. It's really about that back leg reaching. So we're opening up this hip flexor here. As that leg reaches back, open up through this hip flexor. Maybe I flex my feet just to run out of space here. And then circle other way. Pedal backwards, reach and lift, reach and lift. Belly is still drawing in. Getting a little bit of inversion therapy here too, getting those hips lifted. Yeah, good, and release it all the way down. If you need a little second, you can come down here, give yourself a little rock and roll, massage out that spine. Yeah, we're doing one more thing with that yoga block up and that hip bridge. So setting it back up. This is a really nice hip flexor stretch. Again, drawing one knee in towards the chest. Maybe this is where you go today. Just sit right here, really pulling that knee in. Otherwise, lengthen that other leg away from you. I feel a deep stretch on the front of this hip, the straight leg hip. Pull this knee in, really straighten out this leg, open up to the hip flexor, just release here. If you're feeling extra spicy, if you want to straighten this leg, you can. Go into more like a split stretch, but you don't have to. I feel this in my hamstring, which is nice, but it doesn't really deepen the hip flexor stretch. So it just depends on what you want to focus on today. Breathe. See if you can soften, release in this position. Bend the knee. Good. Bring it down. Switch over to the other side. However you can negotiate it. Bring that knee in. Yeah. Switch my balance a little bit. Extend the other leg out. Feel a big stretch in the top of that hip flexor. Pulling the knee in. Oh yeah, this hip feels tighter than the other hip. And just notice that if that's the case with you, it's just good to know. Be aware of our bodies. If you want to straighten this leg, you can, but you don't have to. Just always learning about the body. You can take this hand too and pull this hip away. That's helping that oppositional force. Release it down. All right. Both knees together. Lift the hips up. Try and keep the hips lifted off of the yoga block the entire time. Lift one leg up. Lower the leg down and kick it up. Lower down. Kick up. 8 more. Squeeze into that bottom glute. Pull the belly button in. If you need to, take the yoga block out. You can lower the hips down a little bit lower. Totally fine. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Bend the knee. Bring it down. Switch it over to the other side right away. Lower down. Kick up. Press to that bottom heel. Lengthen through the top leg. Draw the belly button in. Last 5. Last 1. Reach it up. Bend the knee. Take the yoga block out. Pull it all the way down. Nice work. Draw those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little gentle circle around. Circle other direction. All right. Gonna do some more spinal flexion, combat that back body work. Then we'll end with some more extension as well. All right, rock and roll yourselves all the way up to sitting. And take the yoga block and put it vertical onto your mat. If you have a towel or something, you can just fold it up. It's really just to place your hands on something. Bend your knees, round the spine, and push into the yoga block. So this is kind of like spine stretch forward. We're gonna let all of us bend our knees so we can really focus on our abs and sit up tall. Yeah, bend or push into the yoga block, pull the belly button in, and crunch. Feel your core working here. If it feels like you're reaching too far, just get it in tighter. You can even bend the elbows. Really want to feel my abs working. Sit up tall, curl back in, push. Push as hard as you can. So hard, maybe even you begin to shake. So all the way up. 2 more like this. Pull the belly button in, push. Sit up tall. 1 more time, push down. Add that power. Sit up tall. Good. Bring it over to one side. So just slide it over, but same thing, push down. You should feel that oblique. I feel this part of my abs really working. Sit up tall. Again, push down. Push into something. If you don't have anything, you can also do this on the floor, but I just think it helps having it a little bit higher up and to have an actual item to push on. It seems my body responds to that better. Push down. Draw the belly button in. The hips still stay on the ground and centered. So my hips are pointed this way. My chest is twisted this way. Pushing into it, using that oblique. Sitting up tall. A few more. Pushing down. Press. How hard can you press? Push, push. And up. 2 more. Press down. Dig in with the abs. Lift up. Last 1. Pushing. So switch over to the other side. Press down. Let me turn this way just so don't have my back to you. Good. All the way up. Again, press down. Feeling this side of my abs working. Lift up. That lift up is just as important as the press down. So really find your posture. Find that upright position. before you push back down again. Keep drawing the belly button in. Keep the shoulders down. Squeeze into the muscles, get into the upper body as well as the core. 2 more. Last one. Yeah, come all the way up. All right, we're gonna do it. Put the yoga block in between your ankles. We're going into 100. I know, let's do it. Just get into that core one last time. Lengthen the legs away, keep squeezing, or you can reach the toes up towards the ceiling, but squeeze the ankles in on that yoga block. Pump the arms up and down. Breathing in, out. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 20. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In, out. In, out. In, out. Changing it up. Breathe in. Extend legs as exhale. Inhale, bring the knees in. Exhale, bring the legs out. Inhale, keep squeezing the ankles. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Yes, bring it all the way in. Nice work. A little bit over onto your stomach. I angle myself this way. Navigate the space here. Nice. Yoga block goes out in front, or again, you can use a folded up towel. Just kind of how I would use it, just to give yourself a little bit of height. Hands on that yoga block. Again, you can choose what height you want to go to. So this feels good. I have some pretty open shoulders though. So again, if you need something lower, go lower. Then, forehead hovers off of the mat. You don't have to set it all the way down. You can kind of hover it. Pull the belly button in. You might just feel a stretch here in the shoulders. Push into the yoga block. Reach to the crown of the head. And then lower back down. So I'm pushing down into that yoga block. Just like I was before. But now when I push down, I extend the spine up. Keep drawing the belly button in. Zip up through those ankles back behind us. Been working that inner thigh. Let's keep doing that. 2 more. Push, reach into the crown of the head. Lowering down. Last one. Push, lift, reach. Lower back down. Take the yoga block and around the world. Lift the head, shoulders, and up. Head, neck, shoulders up. Then circle around your body. Go slow with this. This is shoulder mobility and back extension. If this feels distracting to pass the yoga block or the towel around, or it's getting tangled in the way, then let it go and just do the movements of the arms. Circle the other direction. You're trying to go slow and make the biggest circle you can while keeping your body still, like in single leg circles. Hold it to the back, grab on with both hands, lift yourself up like you're on a bow of a ship, lower down, bend the elbows, let the cheek come to one side. Lift the feet up, flex the feet, kick the heels in. 3, 2, 1. Lengthen back out, reach the crown of the head. Option to keep the legs up back behind you as well. Lower down, other cheek comes down, kick the heels in. 3, 2, 1. These are our double leg kicks in Pilates. Lift up the heart. Over to the other side, kick in. 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Lower down, kick in. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Reach to the heart. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Reach to the heart. And in. 3, 2, 1. Yes, release child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes barely touching, hips sink down towards the heels, and rest. Deep inhale, exhale. Nice work, everyone. Good. You can slide yourself forward, go into your puppy dog stretch. Hips go over the knees. Stretch your hands forward. If you want that deeper stretch, grab onto your yoga block and bring it up as you bring your chest down. You can take that to the side, bring it over. Stretch your hips in the opposite direction. Really feeling a nice lengthening in my side body, all the way from that armpit down the rib cage into the side of the hip. Switch over to the other side. And you can do this with just hands on the ground. The hips go one way, pulling. All right. I'm gonna bring it all the way up. We're gonna end by coming up either to a wall or coming up to a chair or something you can just prop your feet and or prop your hips up on. So I kind of have two different options here. Maybe I'll show you on both of them just so you can see. If you're at like a couch or a chair, you can come over and let your knees come up and over. It can be just this. All right, so this is just a nice kind of way to do it. If you're at a wall, you just let your feet come all the way up. Yeah, maybe this is all you go for right now. You can even use that yoga block and put it underneath your hips. Or I can scoot myself forward more and lift my hips, get my butt up onto the edge of the couch, and then I can either bring the hips or the legs straight up, or I can start to bring them over like I would in a rollover or in plow position. Or I can keep them bent. It's really just finding that inversion, getting the hips lifted, and then trying to breathe into that space. Let me show you what is over here. Graceful dismount. Like hopefully nothing like this bookshelf comes flying down on me. So yeah, wall, you can just straight up, just like this, or you can start to lift the hips up. Walk your hips in, yeah, and find that stack of the spine. Keep the neck as open as you can. Keep the collarbone open. I teach this when we're learning shoulder rolls in dance class. A lot of people just have a hard time getting their hips up above their head for a good reason. It's hard. It's not something we normally do. But this is, one, just really good for gravity to work in the opposite direction of our body. Just helps us out, realigns things. But then it also can help you get that mobility and get that feeling of having the hips lifted for whatever else you want to do. Plow position, shoulder stand, back shoulder roll. Just hang out wherever you are. Your legs up, you can straddle the legs as well. You can work on your splits. Just try and hang out in this position. Breathe, maybe close your eyes. We're gonna end here today. Deep inhale, exhale. Just feeling how your body feels. Seeing if you've softened any places, lengthened any places, stirred up your energy, woke up your energy. And then give yourself a moment of gratitude, thanking yourself for making it here, thanking your body, your energy, your mind, your spirit for everything they just did, and setting that intention, just like I talked about at the beginning of class. Where do you want your energy to be directed today? Can we let go of any worry or fear? Can we direct it towards hope, inspiration, creativity, love? Slowly bring yourself out of this. If you have your hips up on the wall or up on the couch, you might just like slowly back yourself away. And whatever graceful transition you have, and bring it over to a side. Laying down on your side, finding a comfortable position. And when you're ready, you'll push yourself up to seated position. If you want to grab back onto that yoga block or blanket or towel to sit on top of so you can sit up taller, you can. May help open up your hip flexors a little bit more. Wherever you are, just sit up tall, hands placed gently on your knees. Roll the shoulders, lift them up to your ears, press them back, and draw them down the back. Extend to the crown of the head. Take a deep inhale, filling up. Exhale. Blink your eyes open. We'll end with our fluffing of aura, as we always do. Hands come together. Put that intention, whatever you ended up deciding, into your hands. Manifest it. Shake it out. Cross up top, in the middle, down low. Lift it all the way up, and let the energy pour down. Yeah, that is it for today. Just a nice, gentle, overall, but still got in there. Like, I still feel clammy, still feel sweaty. My muscles definitely worked. And if you're tight in certain places, then it's going to feel like work and effort. It's going to feel really hard. There are other places where you might just feel like really good. But just knowing that about ourselves, just knowing like, ooh, okay, my body really enjoys doing this movement, but has a hard time doing this movement. Once again, it's just good for us to know as we're on this journey with our bodies, always working together with our bodies and not against ourselves. So enjoy the rest of your day. Tomorrow I'll be back with another pop-up class. We will do something more intensive. Now that we got our nice alignment restorative class for the week, we'll do something a little bit more like fast moving tomorrow. And let me know if you have any requests for anything as well. Tomorrow is also Wednesday, so Wednesday night, I'll be doing a dance class at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night as well. Otherwise, I'll just see you for the pop-ups in the daytime. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and see you next time. Bye.